Right, so how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the crew. And today we're actually going to be going over which is the best SUV in the game. We have three options to choose from, so let's go ahead and take a look at those now. So the three options that we have are the Hummer. I guess you could consider this a sport utility vehicle. It's an H1, so it's definitely a little bit ridiculous, but we're gonna classify this as an SUV. As well as you have the Cadillac Escalade, which again, very you don't really have to do a whole lot to classify it as that. You can pretty much see that it is one. So there's actually four. I completely forgot about the Touareg, or the Touareg. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's German. The Volkswagen SUV, we have that one also, as well as everybody's probably favorite SUV is the SRT8 Grand Cherokee Jeep. So we're going to be maxing these things out, going over what they handle like maxed out, and basically seeing which one's the fastest, which one drives the best, and which one's the worth buying and putting the time and effort into for driving. Kind of the same way we did at the truck. So let's go ahead and start with a Hummer, and we will go from there. All right, so this thing is fully maxed out to 280. It's got 225 miles per hour to the top speed, which is pretty much what everything kind of gets up to. Base horsepower of just about 700, 0 to 60 in 3.23 seconds, and a quarter mile in almost 11 seconds. So it's not too bad considering the thing weighs so much. Let's go ahead and actually see how the damn thing drives, though. All right, so we're in the thing at first with 280, and it already just sounds like an absolute monster. Right off the bat, these corners are surprisingly good. Holy crap! Okay, I was not expecting it to do that. We're already surpassed the top speed that we had it last time, as we're over 100 miles an hour now. This thing kind of has a mind of its own, though. Like, it very well slides. Not so much slides, but it does slide around corners very well. But it kind of has like a linearity driving aspect about it. What I mean by that is, like, when you're kind of going around a corner, it doesn't really take that tight, and it's gonna just go kind of in a line and think, why is this guy continuing to run into me? What the heck? Get your Ford Edge out of here. But pretty much it holds a line around the corner no matter what you're trying to do. So, like, as you see, I don't think you're going fast enough around this corner. We'll probably do it up here at this roundabout. We'll go around the roundabout and try to hold a line, and this thing will just kind of, like, not going nearly fast enough, but you basically try to hold a line around the corner, and it just kind of moves out. Which is the thing I've noticed with some of the vehicles in this game is that, especially on tracks and stuff like that, if you're going to be going around a track and you want to take that apex, you want to take that inside line, some cars won't do it that well, and they'll basically just go up towards the wall. And I guess this is one of the vehicles in the game that has that problem with it, is that it'll go up and run higher than it should on the inside. So there you go, like, just like that right there. Like, that corner should have been taken a little bit tighter, but I mean, you can expect it. It is a Hummer after all. So this thing is getting up to it said about 225 miles an hour. So instead of taking it out to the salt flats, I'm just going to kind of take it for what it is, because that's what, from my experience from going out there, that's pretty much what everything's hitting, is what their recommended mile per hour is saying. This thing is slowly increasing. I'm sure if we had a straight line, we could get it up there. But overall, the Hummer ain't bad, but there is other vehicles that we need to test, so we need to go ahead and get those. All right, so we have the Cadillac Escalade fully upgraded now. Again, top speed of 225 is pretty much expected. Power 908 horsepower, 0 to 60 time in 2.8, so just about 3 seconds, and a quarter mile time in just about 10 seconds. So just off the statistics things is that this thing here is going to be a little bit faster than the Hummer, which goes without saying. It probably weighs about 1,000 pounds less than the damn Hummer does. But let's see exactly what this thing has to offer. Because I'm definitely super excited to see what the Escalade's going to offer for us. And what I'm noticing that's actually kind of cool is when you put a 280 part on the vehicle, the rims actually get bigger. Like, the stock rims get much bigger. So I'm just noticing that now. That's actually kind of cool. So let's go ahead, take this thing for a drive, and see what it does compared to the Hummer. So, oh my gosh, you're kidding me. That's what it sounds like. That's ridiculous. I was not expecting that sound to come out of this, like, not at all. I was not expecting it. And thankfully, this is the Escalade that I actually kind of like, with the taillights on the back. Because I know the new ones that they have, they're just terrible looking taillights. Okay, this thing is almost worse on corners than the Hummer, surprisingly. So That I didn't expect at all. I did not expect it to be taking corners as bad. Yeah, holy crap, is it does that linear thing way worse than the Hummer. Hit that Dodge Journey out of the way. But yeah, I was not expecting it to do that that thing at all. Like, I was not expecting this thing to handle it this badly around corners, but I'm honestly very surprised right now with the way that this thing is driving. Let's just talk about acceleration for a second. It accelerates pretty damn good. Like, it's pretty quick. Like, this is a quick car maxed out. Definitely a little bit quicker than the Hummer. You can feel that in just driving it. You can feel that it is. But this thing is stuck. It doesn't sway or anything like that. Look at this. We're just gonna, braking distance is terrible. I'm not a big fan of this thing. Like, honestly, I'd much rather drive the Hummer if I was going to drive something. Like, we were going 30K around that corner and we couldn't stay in our lane. Look at right here. That was actually a good drift around that corner, but, like, still, I don't know what to think about this. Like, I really don't. Like, I thought this Escalade was going to be, you know, a better performing vehicle than the Hummer. I was wrong. It's not. It's definitely faster, but honestly, when you're driving around corners and stuff like that, you want the handling. You want that handling, especially when you're street racing. Like, hypercars are different, drift cars are different, drag cars obviously different. That's all about speed. That has nothing to do with handling. But this thing just rolls around. Like, it's not like not very good at all. Like, it's fast. Don't get me wrong. This thing is really fast, but with a car or something like that, or even with a Hummer, that corner would not have resulted in hitting that car. So I am already, this is number 2. Like, this is not going to beat the Hummer just on the fact that it just handles like crap. So next up is the Volkswagen. So we're going to jump into that thing. We're going to see how that does. Right now, the Hummer is still ranked number 1 because these vehicles can still do the same speed. Hummer might take a little bit longer to get there, but the handling on the Hummer is much better than the Escalade, which I did not think I would be saying, but it is. So let's go ahead, jump the Volkswagen, and see how that thing does for us. All right, so the Volkswagen is maxed out. Again, 225 horsepower is the top speed. Its power is 447 horse, which is strangely low. I'm assuming it's probably turbo then. 0 to 60 in 2.6 and a quarter mile in a little bit slower than the Escalade. So let's see how this thing drives. All right, so initially this thing sounds pretty awesome off the bat, but okay, no, it was this thing. I was wondering if it was the car that was stuck under us, but no, it's the Volkswagen. This thing sounds pretty damn meaty. I'm liking this thing already. Holy crap, does that sound like a ridiculous engine in there. It just sounds so aggressive. And you know that it's only making 400 horsepower too, so it's like, holy crap, this thing is impressive. Like, just the sound of that alone, like, this is the best sounding one for sure. So let's go ahead and see. I mean, throttle response time and just acceleration and everything like that, it's pretty damn good. I'm not against it. Like, I think it's a little bit not as ridiculous as the Escalade, but it's a little bit more tolerable almost in a way. Like, it's just a little bit more handleable. The Escalade is just a little bit too much ridiculous. This thing though, it's driving better than the Escalade, and it might be because it's a little bit slower, but it does drive better than the Escalade. So we can get in little skids here and there. We can take the corners the way that we want to. Like, look at that. That was a perfect corner. No problem. We'll take this corner perfectly as well. I'm a fan of this thing. This Volkswagen is very impressive. I was not, like, honestly, I wasn't expecting it to sound like this, which it sounds just ridiculous. It sounds like it's got a freaking, like, just massive rallycross engine in it, which, I mean, I guess you can get a rallycross spec of this car, but, like, my gosh, this thing is just a monster. And it handles so well, too. So right now the rankings are the Volkswagen's in number 1, Cadillac is in number 2, or sorry, the Escalade is in number 2, and the Cadillac is in number 3. So, like, of course I wasn't going to be able to break there. That was just something I was going way too fast for. So, Volkswagen's in 1. Is the SRT8 Jeep Grand Cherokee going to pass that up, or is the Volkswagen going to take home the best SUV award in the Crew 2? So, let's go ahead and get ourselves the Grand Cherokee and finish out this this test. All right, so we've got the Jeep maxed out. 225 is the top speed, so everything's got the same top speed, so nothing's really going to get an advantage in that category. This thing has almost 800 horsepower, though, a 0 to 60 in 3.13 seconds, and a quarter mile in just over 10 minutes and 20 seconds, or 20 milliseconds, 10 minutes, 10 seconds and 20 milliseconds. I feel like an idiot, basically, right now. So, I don't know. Everybody says that this is their favorite SUV in the game, probably because it's got a V8 SRT in it. That's what I think, at least. But we're going to be checking this out, so I've got to go ahead and jump back over to the Street Racing HQ, because we all need to start at the same place and pretty much drive the same road. Alright, so we've got our SRT8 Grand Cherokee. I just want to see the interior of this thing real quick, and if it looks anything like the actual one in real life. And it does pretty much look exactly spot on to these things. My mom has one of these Jeeps. It's not the SRT8, obviously, but it's a limited Grand Cherokee. It's a nice vehicle, but let's go ahead and see exactly what it sounds like, because that's what I'm waiting for. That's what I know you're waiting for. It's a V8, so it does sound pretty meaty. It sounds really freaking meaty, like the damn Volkswagen did. So this is going to be a tough choice between this SRT8 and the Volkswagen, I think. I think those two things are just going to be absolutely too good to be even come in competition with the other vehicles in the game. See, this thing turns a little bit worse than the Volkswagen, so I mean, I think the Volkswagen is going to take this thing unless I can get this thing turning a little bit better. There's a little bit of skids there. I mean, it's got a lot more power. It's got almost double the horsepower that the Volkswagen has. So, I mean, you can't expect it to not take corners very well. There we go. That was my fault there. Let's go around the stop sign. So that's pretty good. That was a good corner. That was not a good corner at all. So yeah, the reason that I like testing these vehicles, like for handling and stuff up in these hills, is because that they have like a really good turning. Like there's really tight corners in here and stuff like that. You can really get a feel for what the vehicle is going to do in a race if you have to be taking tight corners like this. So that was actually a good corner there, but for the most part, this thing is really just sliding. That braking distance just isn't what the Volkswagen's is. And I think that's why the Volkswagen gets, like, driving that thing is as nice as what it is. This thing just brakes a little bit slower, and it really sets it back. And that's why I think I'm going to have to give this thing to the Volkswagen. I think the SRT8 Jeep is a good second place. I think the Hummer comes in third, and I think the Escalade is going to be last. I mean, it's a damn good car, though. That's what I'm saying. They're all good cars. But when you're talking about the handling and everything else, when you're actually going to be racing, the way that the Escalade is, the fact that it is just so fast, and I just flipped the Jeep almost. The way that it's so fast is just, it's not good for corners and stuff, and that's exactly what it is. It accelerates ridiculously. I'm sure that it probably has a Corvette motor in it or something like that. And getting it up to that speed, that weight, and that size in a Corvette just wouldn't work very well, and it doesn't, because it doesn't corner worth a damn. The Hummer corner is better with it, and that's why it's going to take up the last thing. But man, the Volkswagen is just the best overall vehicle, so let's go ahead and switch into that thing, because that is going to be our winner today. Alright, so we're back in the Volkswagen, and I figured that we have to end it off in this thing. This thing just sounds ridiculous. It sounds so damn good. But yeah, that's going to do it. The Volkswagen is my pick for the best SUV in the game. I think that you would be you wouldn't be let down if you bought this thing. I think that it would perform well for you. Just me driving it, honestly, it just feels way better than all the other SUVs in the game. That was a bad corner on my own part, so don't take that into account for anything I'm saying. But again, these videos are opinion-based, so your opinion can differ. This is just mine on what I think the best vehicle in the game is, and I just went through a truck there. So, I do hope you guys enjoyed the video. Definitely be sure to hit the like button if you guys did enjoy the video. If you're new to the channel, definitely be sure to also hit the subscribe button. And while you're at it, hit the post notification bell so that way you're notified when videos go up on the channel, because you're not going to want to miss them. They're pretty good. They're fun. We have a good time here. So other than that, I do want to thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed once again, and I will talk to you guys next time.